Hey everyone, how's it going? So today I want to speak to you about I think what's the key for inner drive and fulfillment, which is a higher purpose. Doing something that is really meaningful to us and that is helping others. This is, I think, the key to a happy life is to be focused on the value that you can add to the world. And it doesn't have to be something gigantic, it can be something small, but always thinking about serving, about helping others, about adding value, thinking about others, having that mission and being driven to fulfill that mission and having others helping you to fulfill that mission. So that's key. That's the key to a real fulfillment and a real happy life and a real drive. There are many other factors, but I think this is the main one. And so I am here in Africa. I'm traveling here in Benin. I was born in Africa. I was brought up in Africa, so I know the African reality. I haven't been. I mean, I've been to Africa last year, and I've seen things, and I've been to Rwanda specifically, and Rwanda has changed a lot, and it's impressive. Still, if you go to the countryside, there's a lot of poverty and so on. And I'm here in Benin, and I've been actually doing a travel which was really like off road, let's say, for tourists. So I was going to places that are not touristic, and really being with the local community, like in villages and so on. And there was so much misery that it was actually overwhelming at some point doing it. Now it's amazing the lessons that I learned. But it was really overwhelming on the moment to see all that poverty, all those children that had no hope for the future because there was they don't even have a pen, or I mean, they just live. They have no water, no electricity, and they don't like like Benin is a country with so many like tribes and so many languages, and so basically like French or English. I mean, French in Benin is the common language. So if you don't speak French, you can't speak with another tribal group. So, and you have many tribal groups of 80,000 people and so on. So it's so limiting not to be able to speak French in Benin. And it can be English in other countries and Spanish and whatnot, right? But I mean, Benin, that's the reality here. And yeah, and it was really, and to see all the poverty and the misery and like people just like working so hard and having all the children working, because that's the case here. Like most of the children are working in the countryside, helping their parents at 10 years old or whatever. They're just starting to sell what the family produces. Most of the people, they live on what they produce. So subsistence agriculture. So they go and they sell, for example, the Peul people, which is a tribe that is actually a nomad tribe all over from the Sahel region, so like from the like sub-Saharan regions, and they are nomads and they are across many countries, and they actually they have cows, and so they will produce milk and they will do cheese and they will sell the cheese. So they will. So I've been to one of the villages where the woman prepared the cheese, and when the cheese is ready, the kids that are between 10 and 10 to 15 or 16 years old, they walk 1 hour to the closest city to sell the cheese, and they don't come back until they haven't sold everything. And most of the time, they come back at dawn, and they will make really little money, less than $10, per day. So it's really harsh conditions, and you have to see where they live. It's really harsh. So it actually moved me a lot, and I was overwhelmed at first. Because I want to help, and I was questioning myself, how can I help? What can I do? Because I really, and the children are so amazing. They are full of life, loving, and you just want to help them. Like it's crazy how they're just playful and happy, and they don't have anything, and they're just so happy and so playful and so on, and they're giving love. We felt the love, and they were working with us, giving us their hands, and this is amazing, right? But so I was asking myself, how can I help? What can I do? And I was overwhelmed because I didn't know how I could do anything. And then I was thinking about so many things, and I was thinking there's so much to do. And I was thinking about the corruption that is a big problem in the state, corruption, and how basically there's no. I mean, these people, for example, don't pay taxes. Obviously, they all. I mean, most of the economy is actually informal economy, and I mean, if the state is not able to help, and obviously you can have a very liberal vision of things and thinking that the market by itself will do everything, but like you need the state to do like basics, like a good health, which they don't have, a good education, and like opportunities, the state, and good infrastructure, which also is not the reality. So you don't have the basics like health, education, infrastructures, which you need, and then to create opportunities. I also met so many people like master's degree and so on that not finding jobs. So you don't have many. So there's a lack of opportunities which the state can create if the money was actually distributed. Of course, the state is much more poor than in rich countries because of the low income of the people and the informal economy. They just don't have money, even though you have international aid a little bit, but it's not enough. And again, corruption is a terrible problem. It's improving, at least in Benin. It seems that it's improving, that the president is doing things to let the money go down, but still. And so you are, you as a person, you are like overwhelmed. What can I do? If even the state is not present, what can I do? And so I was overwhelmed at first, and then after the travel, I actually started to say, one, I am grateful for like all I have. Like I just don't have the right to complain. Like my life is just amazing, and I will never complain again. And like I'm just grateful for yeah. I guess being born in the right place with the right people, and life gave me opportunities that most of these people will never have. That's a fact. So I'm grateful, I'm grateful for all the education I had, and grateful for not to think of what I'm going to eat every day, fight for survival every day, and second, also optimistic in the sense that things have improved. In Benin, I saw so much misery that at first I was like, yeah, things will never change. I don't know, because I haven't seen like a significant change, but it's not true. Like things have improved if you look at the big picture and the long-term game, because I think the development of humanity in some places took off really quick. Like if you look at the Asian tigers, if you look at certain countries have improved a lot. And even countries that don't have a lot of resources. So if you look at Brazil, for example, which is a very rich country, well, obviously those resources help to develop. But like if you look at South Korea, South Korea developed a lot and is a pretty rich country. It's a rich country, but doesn't have. It's a small country. Doesn't have much resources. It's mainly technology, and so it's possible to go quick, but the reality is that if you look at the big picture long term, things have improved a lot. So I did the slave route, so the colonialism and the slave trading and so on, and it's terrible. Like it's really, it takes you to the gut. Actually, funny story. I'm reading a book on slavery, which is actually a science fiction book, and I've been to the place of the book. In Maryland. The book is taking place in Maryland. It's from Octavia Butler. And I've been there, like that was pretty crazy. And then I've been to Martin Luther King Memorial, and like all that was not planned, like it happened. And then to Benin, where the Royaume de Dahomey, so the kingdom that used to be Benin before and a bit more than that, sent 10 million slaves to Americas. 10 million people, and that's the one that survived. If you add all the dead slaves and so on, I don't know, but it's more than 10 million. So imagine that. It's crazy. Today, Benin has 12 million people. So it's just insane, and it's horrible. Like it's really horrible. Slavery is horrible, and never again. And we shouldn't. No one should tolerate even something close to slavery, like modern slavery. Like, for example, buying things from China, or what's like some production sites, some companies that they just to reduce costs, they will use like child labor and all that. We have to be conscious. We can't tolerate that, and we have to do something about that. But my point is that things have improved, so we can be optimistic, and then I think we can do something, at our own scale, and there are many people doing things actually, and we can use these people to help these people do more. and I think that's what we can do. Uh, be it as a partner and as a brain, kind of sharing the mission and kind of, you know, yeah, and whatever then you do, whatever task you do to help, but you actually embrace the cause of someone already doing it. You can give money, of course, to that cause if you are really sure of who it is and so on. But yeah, so I wanted to share that because that was really moving. And then coming back to what I started to say, when you have a mission like that, it is serving others. When you want to make a difference, you're actually very driven because you are out of your mind, out of yourself. You stop to focus on yourself. So you start to be ego-centered, and that's when the magic happens. Um, when you start to serve, when you were really focused on others, you forget about yourself, and that means that you are stronger than your fears, stronger than your limitations, stronger than your past, and you actually kind of transform, and you become a new person, and then you make a difference, right? So I think that the basic thing is not to say, okay, how I'm going to make money, how I'm going to provide for my family, and of course, those questions are important. But what you have to understand is that if you think in terms of adding value to others, serving others, okay, how can I help? What's my plan to help? And actually taking action on that plan and actually helping and being focused on helping others, magic happens, and then you have much more than what you would have if you were focused on yourself. And the answer is within you. Like, what you can do depends on your reality, your life experience. Wherever you are in the world, there will always be people to help. Whatever is your expertise, you can help people with your expertise. Whatever are your soft skills, you can help people with your soft skills. And we have all type of profiles, and we're all different, and we're all good at different things. And I think that's what's very important, is to serve others with what we are good at, and have a mission that is big enough, or at least which is inspiring enough, like you really want to help, and you are concrete about it, which will empower others to help you. And that's when you create beautiful things and you live a beautiful life. And that's the greatest fulfillment and the greatest drive. So go out there, help, serve, and you will see that all your wishes of inner fulfillment will happen.